Look at me posting Kleschka picks before Thursday Night Football.
Let's go!
I'd love to see you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, trying to hit the goal of 250,000 subscribers before the end of the year, 250,000. So help me achieve that goal. That would mean a lot. And we'll get started, get right into it with the Thursday Night Football game. Jets and Patriots. The Jets got their first win. Aaron Rodgers got his first win as a Jet. Technically, because his first game where he got injured, they won, but this time he was on the field playing all the way to the end. And the Patriots, they lost to my Seahawks with the boy DK Metcalf leading us across the Delaware. Don't worry, DK, I understood it. And this week, I think we are going to see Jacoby Brissett and the Patriots fall to a pretty good defense of the New York Jets, and I think Aaron Rodgers and the offense are finally about to start clicking. So give me the Jets winning this one, 24-17. Giants and Browns.
Holy fish paste, this is a bad one.
I think we got to hand it out early, the mid-matchup of the week. We don't really talk about it. We just say the score and move on. I'm going to give it to the Browns, 23-20. Chargers and Steelers. The Chargers did win last week, but they did play the Panthers, so does that really count? And then you got the Steelers, who also won, but they played against a team that's very similar to them, a mid-offense, the Broncos. They ended up getting the victory of the Steelers. And this week, I think it will be a bigger challenge, obviously, for the Chargers, going up against a tough, rough-hitting defense in the Steelers, but that offense is so mediocre that I think the Chargers offense is going to be able to excel above them, and that's going to be the reason they win the game. Just barely, though, winning 23-20. Bears and Colts. The Bears lost to the Texans last week, and they struggled big time. Caleb Williams and that offense have not looked good at all. Meanwhile, Anthony Richardson seems like he's finally hitting a stride. He's getting used to the NFL in his first full season, and I think they are going to continue that with their offense. In this one, I don't see the Bears doing anything offensively, anything impressive, until they finally figure it out, until Caleb Williams starts to feel comfortable, which does not seem like anytime soon. The defense can do as much as it wants, but if the offense is not getting them points, it ain't gonna matter. I think the Colts are really building that chemistry with Anthony Richardson as their leader, and I think they're gonna show it this week and beat the Bears 27-10. Texans and Vikings. The Vikings surprised everybody and beat the 49ers. Sam Darnold has finally found his home, finally a place where he can succeed. And the Texans, they got the win, and this is going to be a great matchup just because how the Vikings are playing right now and how on the rise the Texans are with CJ Stroud at the helm and all the talent he has around him. I think that's going to be the huge reason why they are going to win this close matchup. All the guys he has, Stephon Diggs and Joe Mixon, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, that offense is stacked, and I just don't think the Vikings offense will keep up. Plus, the defense of the Texans is young, fast, and they hit hard. So give me the Texans winning this one, 30-24. Eagles and Saints. Both of these teams had shockers last week. The shocker for the Eagles, they lost to the Falcons late in the game. Saquon Barkley just couldn't hold on to the ball. And then for the Saints, they beat the Cowboys, a team a lot of people would say is a lot better than them, and they went into their house and just destroyed it, man. Absolutely wiped the floor with them, and I think they are going to continue this. They are finding themselves as well. They are hitting this chemistry with Derek Carr as their leader, and it's showing on the field. He is playing some of his best football to start a season in a few seasons, and I like what I'm seeing. I do think the Eagles will rebound a little bit, but I don't know. The Saints are so hot right now. I think they stay on that hot streak, and I think they beat the Eagles 30-27. Buccaneers and Broncos. The Broncos basically did not show up for the game last week. They lost to the Steelers, and the Buccaneers, they went up against a tough Lions team, and they came out of there with a victory. I've been saying it since the beginning. Baker Mayfield finally has a spot where he doesn't have all this pressure on him, and he can relax, have these good offensive guys around him, and he is succeeding by doing that. I think we're going to see that again this week. I think they're going to return to an offensive explosion. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring for Tampa Bay and not a lot of scoring for Denver, man. Just throwing these rookie quarterbacks in there puts a ton of pressure on them, and it's clearly showing throughout the league, and it has been for many years, and I think it's affecting Bo Nix. I don't think he keeps up, and I think the Buccaneers win 33-17. Packers and Titans. The Titans lost to the Jets last week, and Will Levis is just out here doing all kinds of crazy plays that nobody would ever think of doing in the NFL. And then the Packers, they relied heavy on Josh Jacobs in their run game, giving him a ton of carries. That game plan worked, and Malik Willis did very well his first start as the Packers quarterback. stepping in for the injured Jordan Love, and I think that is going to continue this week. He feels like he is comfortable and can rely on Josh Jacobs to run the football, not put all the pressure on him to pass, to move the ball downfield, and that will easily make anyone feel like they can run an offense a lot better when it is balanced. So give me the Packers winning this one, 24-14. I'm saying the word comfortable way too many times. I gotta stop saying it. It's starting to not feel like a word. Raiders and Panthers. Let's start with the Panthers. Obviously, they lost. That's the kind of state they're in, where we expect them to lose pretty much every single game they play, and they benched Bryce Young. It'll be Red Rocket Andy Dalton stepping in and hopefully giving a boost to that team. And the Raiders, they shocked everybody. There was a lot of that last week by beating the Ravens late in the game. Devontae Adams, the winning touchdown, and they were able to hold on to that. And I think they will have no problem here against the Panthers, just like most teams. I don't think Andy Dalton stepping in is changing anything. I think they're still going to be pretty bad, and we are going to see the Raiders win this one 31-13. Seahawks and Dolphins. The Dolphins lost last week, also losing a big player in their offense with Tua Tagovailoa, and I think that is going to be a huge impact on the rest of the season. The Seahawks, we beat the Patriots. We love that. We are still undefeated, baby, and I think that is going to stay this way, going 3-0 this week, the Seahawks, with Skylar Thompson as the quarterback. I don't think this Dolphins team is going to look as good as we have seen it with Tua, obviously, and I think our defense is definitely going to put a ton of pressure on him. So give me the Seahawks winning this one, 24-10. Cowboys and Ravens, two teams that took surprising L's last week. Obviously, we know the Cowboys got beat up by the Saints, and then we had Baltimore lose late to the Raiders. These teams both have very talented offenses, and their defenses can really shut a team down when they are locked in. And I think this is going to be a close one. Each team trying to make up for that loss last week, and I think it's going to come down late in the game, and whoever is better at performing in those late moments, and to me, that is the Cowboys, because I don't think the Ravens really have control and start to fade the more the game goes on. They start to lose it, and they start to lose themselves and how they should be playing football. I've noticed it too many times. I think the Cowboys will have the late game heroics, and I think they will win 30-27. Cardinals and Lions. The Lions lost last week, and the Cardinals, they got a very impressive win over the Rams. I've been saying it. When Kyler is healthy and the rest of that offense can thrive around him, they are dangerous. I've said it since the start of the season, and I think they're going to show it again. Marvin Harrison is starting to show everybody the star that he was in college here at the NFL level, and I think it is just going to be rolling like a ball now. It's going to get bigger and bigger every week. We've seen it, and we are going to see a lot more of it, and the whole offense really succeeds when it is balanced, when they can run, when they can pass. And the Lions, they got a ton of good weapons as well, but just with how hot the Cardinals are right now, I'm going to take them. I think they win 27-23. 49ers and Rams, both of these teams lost last week, and both of these teams are pretty beat up. You got no McCaffrey, no Debo for the Niners, and on the other side, you got no Cooper Kupp and no Puka Nacua. Who is Matthew Stafford going to throw this ball to, man? There are so many injured players on both sides of the football for both teams. However, I think the 49ers defense is a lot better and still has healthier pieces than the Rams right now, and I think that is going to show. They are still able to operate with Jordan Mason at running back, doing very well, and still a few more targets to throw to than Matthew Stafford has at the moment. So give me the Niners beating the Rams 34-14. Chiefs and Falcons. We saw the Falcons get the very impressive late game victory over the Eagles. The Eagles dropped their opportunity literally, and the Falcons had one shot to go down the field and win it, and that's exactly what they did. And then for the Chiefs, they were able to hang on late against the Bengals. Some will say the refs were helping them out. Again, that seems to be the trend whenever the Chiefs have these big victories, and I think this week it's going to be an easier path to victory for Patrick Mahomes. I think the Falcons definitely showed a glimpse of hope for their future, but I don't think they are going to be able to ride with the Chiefs to the end of this one, so give me the Chiefs winning 30-20. Bills and Jaguars. The Bills won last week, beating the Dolphins after they lost Tua. It was pretty smooth sailing for them to get the victory there, but Josh Allen has looked solid all season. He may have lost some of his weapons in the offseason, but he's putting the team on his back, doing everything he can to lead that offense. And the Jags, they haven't really been showing me much all season. I haven't been very impressed. I haven't seen them really do anything throughout the year so far. And I think it's going to be the same this week. I think the offense is going to be very quiet. And I think Josh Allen is going to be pulling his whole team all the way to a big W over the Jags. I think the offense goes crazy. And I think the Bills win 33-10. Bengals and Commanders. The Commanders beat the Giants last week solely on field goals. That is very impressive. And then we have the Bengals, who lost to the Chiefs late in the game. There were some late calls that some would argue, but in the end, in the scorebook, it is an L, and you just have to take it and rebound the next week. I think Joe Burrow is going to do well here. The Commanders' passing defense is towards the bottom of the league, and I think Joe Burrow is finally going to get a game where he can feel confident and feel like that Super Bowl year Joe Burrow once again. I still think it's going to be pretty close because I think the offense of the Commanders is going to keep up just a tiny bit, but I don't think they'll be scoring a lot. I think the Bengals will just be scoring a little bit more than them. I think the whole team is really going to start to feel like those Bengals that were dominating a few seasons ago, and Joe Burrow is going to get that swagger back. Give me the Bengals winning this one 27-20. Well, if you made it to the end of this video, everybody, don't forget, please help me in my goal of hitting 250,000 subscribers before the end of the year. 250,000. We can do it. I believe in you. I got this. You got this. We all got this, and I'll see you next time.